2 wins away from the NCAA tournament. The Mountain West semifinals are next. Not a gorgeous Friday evening from Las Vegas. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Coming up, the first semifinal of the night in the Mountain West tournament as the San Diego State Aztecs take on the Wolfpack of Nevada. Here's a look at the bracket in the Mountain West. The winner of this game advances to the championship game tomorrow on CBS against the winner of the nightcap coming up later between Utah State and New Mexico. And hi everyone, welcome to Las Vegas with former Villanova coach Steve Lapis. I'm Andrew Catalan. Evan Washburn will join us as well. Nevada won the regular season title. They're the #1 seed for the tournament, but San Diego State is the hottest team in the league right now.
Well, Nevada was picked first to win the league. San Diego State was picked second. They kind of expected to be in the championship game, but they'll settle for a great semifinal game, which they're going to have. San Diego State playing their best basketball of the year. Nevada struggled a little bit yesterday with UNLV, but I expect this to be a great game.
I'd say even a little bit more than struggle. They were down 12 in the second half against the Runnin' Rebels yesterday in the quarters, but Caleb Martin brought them back.
Boy, this transfer from NC State, the player of the year in the conference as selected by the coaches. He shoots threes. He's a great defender, but he can really put the ball on the floor and get to the basket at 6'7". A really special player.
Meanwhile, for the Aztecs, a 7-game win streak, including last Saturday night at home against Nevada. They're scoring the ball at a better clip, but Coach, I think the key's their defense.
Well, they're playing that old-fashioned San Diego State defense that they've played for years under Steve Fisher. Yesterday against Fresno State, they held Fresno, who could score the ball, to 38% shooting. The big thing, though, was 17 points off turnovers to 2 for Fresno. So when San Diego State's playing that great half-court defense, they're able to get offense out of it, and they can use all the offense they can get.
Should be a great atmosphere. Both teams have great support here in Vegas tonight. Round 3 between San Diego State and Nevada. The winner goes to the Mountain West Championship game.
I'll be watching the game on Friday from Germany. 3 a.m. my time, rooting for my fellow Wolfpack. So think about that. You got a guy in Germany who's watching you and rooting for you. So between Germany and 3 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific, do you know how many eyes are on you guys? A lot. You owe it to every person that is rooting and watching for you to play harder than you played all year long.
I wonder if Gabe, when he tweeted, wondered if that would actually be part of Eric Musselman's pregame speech to his team a few moments ago. We thank Eric for allowing us into the Nevada locker room as we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Kubota. For San Diego State, Malik Pope, the team's leading scorer, averaging just under 13 points per game. And for Nevada, keep an eye on Kendall Stevens, a school record this year with 118 three-pointers. Ryan Dutcher, in his first year as head coach, spent 18 seasons as an assistant under Steve Fisher, who is here tonight. And for more on the rivalry between these two, we say hello to Evan Washburn.
Well, Andrew, no one likes it when something's been taken away from them. And in so many words, that's how San Diego State feels about the general perception that Nevada is now the top program in the Mountain West. They respect the Wolfpack, but based off of how they've played of late, they feel like they're the top team in this league, and they haven't been shy about talking about that, and that hasn't been lost on Eric Musselman and company. They've seen and heard everything said and written about them since they lost to San Diego State 6 days ago, and it's fueled them. there's a bit of edge and even a bit of anger coming into this one.
Yeah, Evan, after the game yesterday in which Nevada beat UNLV, Kendall Stevens said, "I'd like to play San Diego State. Revenge is on our mind." Well, Stevens got his wish, and we're underway in the Mountain West Tournament semifinals.
Well, San Diego State, they'll mix it up a little bit defensively. 87% man, about 13 zone. Nevada, 100% man-to-man.
Caleb Martin, the Mountain West Player of the Year, according to the Mountain West coaches. Certainly a guy to keep an eye on today. Here's Jordan Caroline for three.
And this guy here, Andrew, has torched San Diego State. He's got 55 points in the 2 games they played during the season. He has killed them. 29
last Saturday at Viejas in the Aztecs 79-74 victory. Malik Pope. Turnaround shot is good. Pope, the senior out of Sacramento.
Let's understand this. This Nevada team is not a big team. They're small. Jordan Caroline is their best inside player, and he's about 6'7". So Pope does have a sizable advantage in terms of length in the low post.
And so does Jalen McDaniels at 6'10", although so far we haven't seen McDaniels with a touch. We have a turnover here. And it's Watson for three. Devin Watson, the team's leading three-point shooter at 37%.
And Nevada right away will run it up quickly. Not good transition defense. They have great pass from Jordan Caroline to Caleb Martin cutting to the basket. When you play Nevada, you better get back and locate. They're one of the leading scoring teams in the country. The one thing you worry about with Nevada, they really only have 6 guys, maybe a 7th in Elijah Foster.
Matt Mitchell's three is off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Hollis Cook. Foster only played 7 minutes in the quarterfinal win yesterday over UNLV, and another turnover by the Pack.
Yeah, they'll play Josh Hall as their 6th man. They'll go to Elijah Foster. Yesterday, Caroline got 2 fouls, and that's why he played those 12 minutes. So they're going to play 6, and they still will try and play a fast pace.
Big late season loss of their point guard, Lindsey Drew, ruptured his right Achilles. He was their floor general out there, but out for the season. Has left Nevada with only 7 scholarship players, and we have our first foul. It's on Caleb Martin. The officials tonight, Randy McCall, Larry Spalding, Kevin Brill.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a smart play by Trey Kell. He basically brought his arm. Caleb Martin had his hand on him, and he brought his arm up into Caleb Martin's arm. That is a really good play by Trey Kell.
Trey Kell has had a rough season in terms of injuries, sickness. We were in Albuquerque in January. He was diagnosed with walking pneumonia after that game against New Mexico. And most recently, it was the left ankle sprain that kept him out of 3 games. But this is his 8th game back, and he's starting to play some of his best ball of the season.
Well, it coincides with that 7-game win streak. Trey Kell getting back and doing what he's doing. This guy's been a first-team All-League performer. This year, not even close to performing like that.
Mitchell the steal and the lay-in.
San Diego State has used a lot more of that full-court pressure this year, and it's been very, very good.
3 turnovers in just over 2 minutes by the Wolfpack. They only average 9.9 per game, which is best in the Mountain West, as Caleb Martin has 2 more.
You know, Caleb Martin has 4, but Jordan Caroline with another great look inside.
Got it poked away by the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, Cody Martin, twin brother of Caleb.
You know, you have 2 twins that they coordinate so well together. One's the best defensive player, one's the best offensive player. It's unbelievable.
Devin Watson, unbelievable to start his 2nd 3. He's got a quick 6. Wide open is Hollis Cook. His 3 won't go, and it's taken away by McDaniels.
And this is really new under Brian Dutcher in terms of trying to push the pace. They were always in the 300s in tempo, 160 now, trying to play a little faster.
Jalen McDaniels with the jumper, and the Aztecs red hot to start. They're 5 out of 6. Here's Caroline. That's a travel. Already the 4th turnover by the Wolfpack.
A team that averages about 9 a game, as you said, Andrew, one of the best in the nation.
Well, certainly what we're going to have to watch for Nevada is fatigue. Played yesterday. As we told you, they only really play 6.5 guys. Playing back-to-back. How will that hold up? And also, you got to watch foul trouble when you're playing with only 6.5, 7 guys.
And they still want to play a quick pace, and they still play no zone. So that's two things that could be hard on 6 guys.
Aztecs have already scored 6 points off Nevada turnovers. Here's Pope, and it's stolen away by Cody Martin.
You see the quick hands of Cody Martin? That's why he's the Defensive Player of the Year. He's also a great passer.
To his brother, Caleb. It's Cody to Caleb for 2.
You know, a little uncharacteristic by San Diego State, giving up 3 layups so far in this game. That's 3 back cuts by Caleb Martin.
Pope was calling for it. A good defense by Caleb Martin. Out to Watson. He'll work it around with 5 on the shot clock. That pass denied by Caroline. McDaniels puts up a shot and hits with the shot clock at 1.
Jalen McDaniels has been a real find for Brian Dutcher. The redshirt freshman has had a very, very good year. 10 points and 7 rebounds a game. Pretty good.
13 all Mountain West for the redshirt freshman, Jalen McDaniels. And before the shot, a foul on the floor against San Diego State. But a great start for the Aztecs. They are 6 of 7 from the floor, and they lead it 15-9 as you're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Aztecs lead the Wolfpack early, 15-9. Let's check in with our principal financial game plan, Steve.
Well, for San Diego State, they have to stop Jordan Caroline. The guy has 55 points in 2 games, 29 in that last one that was played about a week ago. They have to own the glass. They're a much better rebounding team. They get some extra possessions off the glass. Nevada wants to play a fast tempo, and they got to shoot the 3. They're number 30 in the nation. They make almost 10 3-point shots a game, a huge part of their arsenal.
Wolfpack had 12 threes yesterday in the win over UNLV. They were 48% from beyond the arc. It was a foul on Malik Pope before that last media timeout. So Nevada basketball with 15-12 to go in the first half.
And they zoned the baseline out of bounds. And Cameron Rooks in the game, who played a nice game yesterday against Fresno State.
Caleb Martin's 3 in and out. They fight for the rebound, and it was Josh Hall who comes away with it.
4 black shirts, 1 white shirt, and he gets the rebound.
Possession arrow favors San Diego State as we go over to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, we've touched on the edge between these two teams. Already an official warning levied to both groups by Randy McCall about the physical play, specifically Caleb Martin and Malik Pope. So next time it happens, you'll probably see some tees.
Yeah, I saw a couple trips ago, Malik came up the floor and wasn't too happy, had a few words. So I think maybe that was a part of what Evan just told us. So it's a good heads up by Evan Washburn. With 14:40 to go, Watson deep 3. He's now 3 for 3.
You know, as many times as I've seen Devin Watson, he's got pretty good 3-point numbers. I've never really seen him shoot the ball well. They went under that screen. Now you got to get over the top of that screen.
He had 6 points in yesterday's win over Fresno State in the quarterfinals. He already has 9 in the first 5+ minutes. Caroline won't go, and there is Cameron Rooks for the rebound. Devin Watson, the transfer from San Francisco, wants 3 more, but not that time. But great hustle by McDaniels. Kell for 3. Yes! Timeout, Nevada. Yesterday's quarterfinal win, San Diego State finished with 3 3-pointers. They already have 4 in the first half tonight.
This is a big boost for San Diego State because they have struggled to score, except in these last 7 games, where all of a sudden they're scoring almost in the 70s every single game. The pace they're at now is for like 100. I don't think it'll get there, but it's a good start for them.
Caleb Martin will drive. Nice dish inside to his brother Cody. Out to Kendall Stevens for 3. It won't go. And a foul on Nevada inside. That's the second on Caleb Martin.
That was an easy call.
This is the problem with playing with only 7 scholarship players. Caleb Martin now in 2 fouls, and he comes out.
And Eric Musselman is a terrific coach, but they play no zone. And let's face it, you can play defense in the zone without fouling a little easier than man-to-man.
Here's Kell. Passes on the 3. Now he won't. Well, that one won't go. McDaniel's the offensive rebound.
That is a big Achilles heel for Nevada. They're not a good rebounding team. It's a huge weakness of theirs.
Watson, 18-foot jumper is good. What a start from Devin Watson. He's 4 out of 5.
They're moving the ball. Nevada's a step behind on every pass that San Diego State throws.
Caroline with a tough 2.
He's so good at putting the ball on the floor for a guy his size.
That one poked away by Hall. McDaniels retreats and now brings it back into the front court with just 13 on the shot clock. Watson already has 11 points for the Aztecs. Kell with 3 on the shot clock. Drive. Scoop shot is good for Trey Kell.
This defense for right now for Nevada is a complete sieve. They're getting anything they want at the basket, at the three-point line.
That one off Kell. He'll stay with the Wolfpack. San Diego State is shooting 76% to start this game.
Well, this team, when they can score, you know they're going to be good because they always play great defense. What a move by Trey Kell.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Visit KubotaUSA.com today. By Principal, we can help you plan for that. And by AT&T.
Back in Las Vegas, where San Diego State is off to a red-hot start. They lead top-seeded Nevada 25-11 in the three-point shooting. Already 4 threes for the Aztecs.
Well, San Diego State only averages about 7 a game. They shoot 34% on the season, which by San Diego State standards is not bad. But what they've done so far is move the ball, get inside outs, and you have Nevada, who's like a half a step to a step behind on every pass that San Diego State is making. They are just not ready right now. Hey, they were down big to UNLV yesterday and came back and won the game. But they got to get moving because this San Diego State team will guard you.
Yeah, still obviously plenty of time, but if you're a bubble team around the country, you don't like what you see right now because Nevada is going to go to the tournament, win or lose. If they don't get the automatic bid, that's one less spot for a bubble team.
Cody Martin, not a great three-point shooter, hasn't made that many this year, but he knocked that one out that they needed.
That's just his 13th three of the season. When would you bring Caleb Martin back in?
You got to bring him back in with 9 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go. You got to trust him. He's an experienced guy to be able to play with the 2 fouls.
Mitchell, 3 is good. San Diego State 5 of 8 from deep. And they've got a 2-touchdown lead on Nevada. Caroline driving at Rooks. Caroline around Rooks, won't go, and it goes out of bounds to the Wolfpack. Nevada with 27 wins this season, tied for the 5th most in school history. The school record is 29, set during the 06-07 season. 18 of their 27 wins have come by double digits. What a season for Nevada, ranked number 22 in the country. And a whistle away from the ball. And This one's going to San Diego State.
Well, here's Cody Martin right here. You got to take a look at him, and then watch here. You're going to see Mitchell running into the corner, and there's too much space between Cody Martin and Mitchell, and that's why he ends up making that three-point shot. Too much space, a little bit too much help in the lane.
Meanwhile, that last possession change was because Nevada went out of bounds. So uncharacteristic start in terms of turnovers. Already 5 as Malik Pope hits for 2 more. And Eric Musselman wants another timeout. San Diego State is pouring it on here in Las Vegas. It's 30-14. All smiles in that San Diego State huddle right now. They lead it by 16. If they go on to win, they would advance to the championship game tomorrow. That's a 6 Eastern start on CBS against the winner of our nightcap between Utah State and New Mexico. And it was Utah State with the stunner of the tournament to this point, defeating Boise State last night.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game because those two teams split during the regular season also. So 2 really compelling games we have tonight. But you know, San Diego State, you got to figure right now, they're looking like they're going to get to 70. And when they get to 70, they are almost unbeatable.
How about for Nevada, Coach? What do they have to do to try to get going?
Got to start guarding somebody. Yeah. I mean, they're at number 9 in offensive efficiency, but 96 on defense. Right now, they're playing like they're 296 on defense.
Turnovers have been an issue as well as we go over to Evan.
Well, guys, that last time out for Eric Musselman was just a chance to stop the bleeding. He didn't actually say a word that entire huddle. His assistants chimed in, players said something, but he just sat there in silence, letting the moment take advantage and really set the tone for his group.
You ever have a couple of those?
Yeah, oh yeah. You do it. Listen, I had a little bit of everything. But I'll tell you what, my man in Germany right now is not feeling too good at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Might go back to bed. Caroline scores inside. Just past the midway point of the first half. Pope calling for it, guarded by Caroline. Pope, 17-footer. Offensive rebound to Rooks.
Look how much bigger he is than everybody there, Andrew. I mean, this team is small.
Hemsley's 3 is no good. Rooks called for over the back. Oh, wow. He tipped it out. Did not look like there was much there. He was called for the foul.
I think that's a bad call. I mean, you know, one thing when you see it in real time, I think if he tried to grab it, maybe it'd be over the back. But what he did.
Oh, he didn't. No. Just extended his arm.
I mean, you got to be able to stand there if you want.
Max Montana has checked in. And that's another Nevada turnover. Number 6 for the Wolfpack.
And you know, Eric Musselman is bringing Caleb Martin. I said 9 minutes, but he needs him. They are really rattled right now.
That was last touch by Kendall Stevens. Spoke with assistant coach for Nevada, Anthony Ruda, before the game, and he said, you know, one of our issues this year has been slow starts. Credit to Eric Musselman, who's had some great in-game adjustments, but we have not had a lot of great starts this year, and this is certainly following that pattern as the Aztecs call a timeout with 9:25 to go in the first half.
Well, you know, they've played without Lindsey Drew for about 8 games, and he was a terrific point guard. Now they have guys all over the place, but even in this game, except for the turnovers, which have not been good for them, it's really been their defense. And they've got to pick it up on the defensive end and get some stops because they're playing against a team that's been hot lately, no doubt, but that's not a great offensive team. They're a better defensive team, San Diego State, as they usually are. So they've got to pick it up on that end, and they got to get on the glass. This team is just longer and more and bigger, not more athletic by any means, but longer and bigger.
There is Lindsey Drew, the junior point guard who ruptured his right Achilles. He was averaging 29 minutes per game, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists per contest, and he did a great job not turning the ball over. His assist to turnover ratio of 3.3, top 5 in the country.
Yes, you missed that. And it's better to have 7 guys than 6.
Pope rises and scores.
You see a difference in size, and it's being taken advantage of without a doubt. Kendall Stevens has not been able, he got one shot off. One of the best shooters in the country. 118 threes this year, that's a big number.
Cody Martin's shot comes up short. Montana flips it over to Watson. Montana's got the range. That one won't go. The rebound to Pope.
Great
Down
pass.
low to Mitchell. What a feed by Malik Pope.
You know, when I saw Brian Dutcher yesterday, his lap, we're playing good. He's right.
Well, all season, there's been injuries, there's been illness, there's been losses for San Diego State that haven't sat well, as Caleb Martin's three won't go. But the whole time, Brian Dutcher kept saying, we need to play our best in March. We got to just peak in March. And to his credit, that's exactly what they've done.
And, you know, he's been very patient. He's had a great attitude. They went through some times where, you know, people were used to seeing San Diego State for 26, 27, 28 games, and he has kept his cool the whole year.
Out of bounds, last touch by Nevada. And Eric Musselman does not like that call. Brings us to a timeout with 7:55 to go. All Aztecs in this one. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Back in Las Vegas, and let's take a look at that last play, which was called out of bounds, last touch by Nevada. Watch Kendall Stevens on the left of your screen, 21 in white. Watch his foot. Hits his foot right there, then his hand.
Yeah, right
no
off his
one
heel.
on San Diego State touches it, and it's ruled properly San Diego State basketball. But Eric Musselman was not happy with that call, and he was lucky to not get called for a technical foul. I mean, take a look at Musselman on the court.
Hey, I sympathize with him. I've been there. You're getting rocked. You got a good team. You think every call's going against you, though they're not. That's just what you think. Paranoia sets in, as I've been there, and it's, I tell you, they gave him a lot of rope there because he was right at Randy McCall. Now they're talking, and Randy McCall's a very good officiating crew, and he's a great referee. And he's giving him a little rope, but there's going to come a point where enough's going to be enough. You heard J.D. Collins the other day talking about bench decorum and all that stuff, so unfortunately, that's...
Where was that rope when you were coaching?
I was hanging myself with it.
9-2 run for San Diego State. Nevada has not scored in close to 2.5 minutes. With 5 on the shot clock. Kel deep three is no good. Shot clock was winding down, and Cody Martin passes it up ahead to his brother Caleb. Caleb Martin's jumper is no good. Great rebound by McDaniels. Up ahead to Mitchell, and he is fouled.
That was a terrific pass from Devin Watson.
One of the keys for Nevada tonight was rebounding. They were -7 on the glass last Saturday at Viejas Arena, and so far tonight, San Diego State +6 on the glass.
Yeah, but they already have 7 second chance points to 2. That's a big advantage so early, 5 points.
Bracket Week presented by Kubota continues right now online at cbssports.com/CBK Live with the second MAC semifinal. Toledo and Eastern Michigan, and you can see it on CBS Sports Network tonight, 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Cody Martin races up ahead for Nevada. A team that's won 7 of their last 8. Their only loss was to San Diego State.
And now San Diego State playing a little zone. They've done a good job of mixing this thing up.
Hall from the free throw line doesn't get the roll, and Watson clears it away. Up ahead, Montana, but knocked out of bounds by Caleb Martin. I just don't see that energy for Nevada right now. Just a flat performance in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing all the energy in the black uniforms.
For more on Caleb Martin, let's send it over to Evan.
Well, guys, we should acknowledge this is the first back-to-back for Caleb Martin since he suffered that left foot sprain described as a Liz Frank sprain. I spoke with head athletic trainer Ron Cooper about the rehab process and what they did over the last 24 hours. 4 hours last night. It's been as much as they could get in, but again, first time since suffering that injury that he's had to play back-to-back games.
And you know, they had to come back quick in a game they were down yesterday and expended a lot of energy. Don't play a lot of guys.
Watson, another three. That's his fourth.
Eric Musselman is just like, what are you going to say?
That ties his season high for most threes in a game. His career high is 5. Nice feed, Cody Martin to Elijah Foster. Foster, the senior out of Seattle, only averages 1.8 points per game. He's their 7th scholarship player. Watson with 10 to shoot. Back out Kell to set up the Aztecs offense. Calls for McDaniels to set a screen. Kell with 3 on the shot clock. Kells to put one up. He does. McDaniels, the putback.
They can't do anything with this team off the glass, I can tell you that.
San Diego State shooting 66%. Caleb Martin straightaway 3. Offensive rebound, Hall, and he is fouled. That's on Max Montana.
Jalen McDaniels just goes right to the backboard here, and nobody, Josh Hall's got to put a body on him, number 33. End of the shot clock, you know a shot's going up. That's just sleeping.
Watson gets a nice hand as he goes out, and Hemsley returns for the Aztecs. 5:06 to go, first half.
I mean, Caleb Martin, 19 points a game, hasn't scored yet.
Kendall Stevens with the shot, won't go, and a foul is called on the Aztecs. That is going to be on Jordan Shackle, the freshman from Torrance, California. Team foul number 4 on San Diego State. Nevada with just 3 here in the first. Caroline on the block, and he is fouled. So Jordan Caroline will shoot 2 free throws for Nevada.
That's a great place to get that ball against a 2-3 zone, right to that box.
Caroline has had great success in the Mountain West tournament in 4 career games. He's averaged 19 points, 9 rebounds, and shot 53%. And more importantly for Nevada, they're 4-0 in the Mountain West tournament with Caroline. They won it last year. They are the defending tournament champions. And they've won the regular season league title each of the last 2 years. Just the 2nd Mountain West team to accomplish that. The other one, BYU in 07 and 08. Hemsley connects.
And they're going wherever they want with the ball, getting it to the lane. There is absolutely no one impeding anybody.
And a foul. Called on Shackle again. That's his 2nd. Look, we've done a number of San Diego State basketball games over the last 5-6 years. I can't recall a better offensive half than this one.
Well, I was going to say it before you said it. It's the best I've ever seen them play, and I've done their games for 10 years.
Yeah.
This is the best offensive game I've ever seen them play.
That has to continue, obviously, into the second half. But right now, it's all roses for Brian Dutcher and the Aztecs.
And I've seen them play a lot of really good games, but offensively, not like this. And by the way, they haven't been bad defensively either.
Holding Nevada to just 19 points, shot clock winding down, and Martin forces up an air ball. What a performance by San Diego State.
They're all over the glass, and that's what Jalen McDaniels does here. San Diego State up big.
Coming up on 18-2 at the half, we'll go back to New York where Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Gary Parrish, Jerry Palm, Steve Peichel will get you caught up on all the latest scores, highlights, and conference tournament updates, all coming up on AT&T at the half. Some of the headlines from today: Cincinnati defeating SMU to go on to the American Conference semifinals, which you'll see tomorrow on CBS. How about Xavier losing in overtime to Providence? Alabama with a big win over Auburn, but how about Xavier? Does that take them off the one line?
I think it takes them off the one line if Duke were to win the ACC tournament, Kansas win the Big 12 tournament. I think it will take them off the one line and put Virginia, Villanova, Kansas, and Duke there. So they're still there for the moment, but we'll see what happens. But how about the job Ed Cooley's done? 5 straight NCAA tournaments at Providence that have never been to more than 3 in a row. This guy has done an unbelievable job.
And a whistle against San Diego State. That's going to go on Matt Mitchell. His first foul.
You know, I did want to say one thing about Alabama, who was up on the screen too. I didn't think they had a real good season, to be honest with you. I thought they were much better than they played, but all of a sudden, Colin Sexton 31 today.
They're going to play Kentucky tomorrow in the SEC semifinals. Game that we did on CBS earlier this year with Kentucky winning at Rupp-Arena over Alabama.
Yeah, it was a good game. They were able to stay in control, Kentucky, at the end of the game. They won, you know, they were up by 6 or 8, but it was tough.
Hall with the reverse lay-in for Nevada. Most points San Diego State has scored in a half this year is 54. It came in the second half against Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois, not Nevada.
Yeah, a little different. 42 right now with 3 minutes to play. Offensive rebound, Rooks. Back out, Hemsley's 3. Yes!
And he has really struggled to shoot the ball, but you know, this offensive rebounding, besides the fact Nevada not defending off the dribble, they are getting crushed on the offensive glass.
San Diego State averages 7 threes per game. They've got 7 in the first half. Kell to McDaniels. Acrobatic lay-in.
He went up in the air, caught it, and moved it to his left hand on the right side of the basket.
Caroline can't connect. Tipped out to Mitchell. Mitchell all the way, and he is fouled hard. Going behind the Nevada cheerleaders. Appears to be okay. And he gets a huge ovation from the Aztec fans.
But take a look at this play here. I mean, it was a lousy pass. He caught himself, he was up in the air, and he had to adjust. That is a heck of a play.
Yeah, I'm looking at Brian Dutcher, and it's almost like he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, he should.
What should you say? I mean, nothing. Just let him play.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Yeah, he's upset that in 2 minutes he got to go in for 15.
Right. He's going to be checking that clock. Is it time to go back out? Time to go back out? Let's get out there.
I mean,
they are 19 of 28, which is 67%, and they've got 7 threes in the first half.
I mean, for this team to have in the 50s at halftime.
Mitchell got a hand on that out of bounds.
You know what? They really missed it today. they're missing Lindsey Drew on the offensive end. They really have nobody setting them up and getting them into anything. Kendall Stevens can't get a shot.
7 turnovers, certainly. Oh, and there's another one, make it 8. Kell is fouled with 2:04 to go. He knows he should have had that one, but now I'll go to the line.
You know, this kind of reminds me about a game we had like 2 weeks ago. St.
Yeah,
Joe's
that's a great point.
at Rhode Island. I mean, you're sitting there watching it saying, and now, don't get me wrong, San Diego State is a quality team. But you're sitting here saying, really?
We apologize for the language there after that last play. Underneath the basket. One more free throw for Trey Kell.
I mean, St. Joe's was up 30 in that first half, which was at Rhode Island. They won their game today.
They did. It's 30 now with 2 minutes to go.
Great defense.
Another empty trip for the Wolfpack. And a technical has been called on Musselman. That was building. We showed it to you, and finally, he gets the tee.
I'll tell you what, he may not make it to the end. He may not make it all the way through today.
Look at the left side of your screen. I mean, he's almost out.
It looked like he was going to take a charge from Randy
He
McCall.
was. McDaniels is the San Diego State's top free throw shooter at 78%. He takes him and makes the first.
Yeah, you don't see big guys take technical fouls very often.
The largest halftime deficit for Nevada this season was 11 against TCU. A little bit larger right here, 53-21.
I mean, they gave San Diego State 53 and a half, and there's still 2 minutes left.
Most points they've trailed by in any game at any point this year. Hemsley for 3. Rooks, another tip to McDaniels, who's fouled.
The glass is absolutely ridiculous. That's a huge problem for Nevada going forward to the NCAA tournament.
And they don't have a guy, Foster's 6'8", but of their starting lineup, they have nobody taller than 6'7". So when they run into a big guy like a Pope who's 6'10", or McDaniels at the line 6'10", and in the tournament, even bigger guys, what are they going to do?
Rooks has hurt them today too, get his hand on balls.
And Rooks really hurt him last Saturday at
Yes, he
Viejas
did.
when he had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
You know, it was great we had Eric Musselman's pregame speech. I'll be honest with you, I'd like to hear the halftime speech more than the pregame speech. I kind of think that he's going to close the doors.
I think he'll close the door. Is a new Mountain West tournament record for the most first-half points scored. The record was 54. San Diego State now with 55. And for any half, the record is 56. So San Diego State still has a chance to set that record as well. I mean, think about it. When these two teams met last Saturday, San Diego State won 79-74. They've already got 55 in the first half.
I'll tell you right now, San Diego State, it's almost impossible to lose a game that they get 80 in. They only need 25 points to get to 80.
Final minute of the first half. Mitchell, great move to get to the hoop, spins around and out, right back to Watson, another rebound.
Rooks again, tapping another one out.
Johnson was the early spark for the Aztecs. His pass deflected. Rooks saves it again, but taken away by Hallis Cook. Numbers for the Wolfpack. Cook for 3. Yes.
Well, they're definitely taking the last shot of this half.
And the Aztecs fans here in Vegas on their feet. Three seconds to go. Kell, deep 3, short, and that is how the first half will end. San Diego State goes into the locker room with a 30-point lead on top-seeded Nevada, and bubble teams around the country are not happy.
I'd like to know what Brian Dutcher said to his team before the game. Unbelievable half, moving the ball, doing everything. That was a perfect half.
And Brian Dutcher is with Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach, this could be difficult, but what pleased you most about what you did offensively in that first half?
I think it's offense and defense, Evan. It was energy. We played with great energy that half. And so that energy translated to offensive rebounds, run-outs, defensively keyed our offense, and it was just a really good half for us, obviously.
When you're up 30, but against a quality opponent like this, what's the message to make sure that they don't get back in this game?
Take care of the ball. Don't put it in the icebox yet. Play basketball. Play smart. Take care of the ball, and don't give them threes.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
A very happy Brian Dutcher goes into the San Diego State locker room up by 30. Coming up after the break, we'll take you back to New York. Our crew is standing by for AT&T at the half. You're watching the Mountain West semifinals, a part of Bracket Week presented by Kubota. San Diego State dominating top seed Nevada here in Las Vegas. Halftime in the Mountain West semifinals with the Aztecs leading by 30. What an incredible half of basketball. They just played near perfect with 55 points, and they out-rebounded Nevada 19-7. Steve, everything went their way.
Well, when you go up 30 like this, you're doing everything right. Now, if you're going to point to one thing in particular, especially that indicates effort, it's second chance points. Going to the offensive glass is all about desire and effort. 14 second chance points to 3 for Nevada. That has been a big part of this. Obviously, when you have 55.5, it's not the only part, but it has indicated the kind of effort that San Diego State has been putting forth in this game.
How about for Nevada? What do they have to do to try to get back in this thing?
Hey, Drexel came back from a 34-point deficit 3 weeks ago, which was the biggest in Division I history. So if I'm Eric Musselman, that's what I'm telling my guys. It's not impossible, but it's got to happen 2 by 2, and it's got to start on the defensive end. You've got to make stops. You obviously can't play even. You've got to win this half by 31 points to win the game. That's a big hill to climb, but it is doable. What are the odds? Not great.
Let's go over to Evan Washburn.
Well, Andrew, there's not a 30-point play. There's not a 30-point game plan. It's simple. Coming from that Nevada locker room, it's all about fighting with some pride here. They were embarrassed by that first half. The only real message I got, again, was fight, effort, and make it a series of 4-minute games here in the second half.
Well, as we mentioned in the first half, there's a lot of interest around the country in this game because if this score holds up, it's going to mean the Mountain West will get 2 teams into the NCAA tournament, take away an at-large spot for one of those bubble teams out there. And it's Nevada basketball.
I mean, I saw Kendall Stevens yesterday, number 21. He couldn't miss a shot.
At 15 points in the win over UNLV, and a good start there.
But one thing about San Diego State, they've got to stay on the attack. As Brian Dutcher said to Evan going out at halftime, keep the pedal down.
Daniels' 3 is off the mark, and Cook tracks it down in the corner. Now we have an injured player, and it's Kendall Stevens grabbing onto his left foot, and he's in a lot of pain. Helped up by Caleb Martin. This is one thing Nevada cannot afford. Already without Lindsey Drew for the rest of the season. It appears that Stevens will stay in the game as we take another look. And he's staying out there. Cody Martin's jumper is no good, and another one and done possession as McDaniels has the rebound. McDaniels. Now it's Kell. Great pass. Mitchell three. Can't hit it. And Nevada comes away with Caroline. McDaniels, good hustle back. It'll stay with the Wolfpack.
That was a great pass by Trey Kell, and Mitchell is a terrific three-point shooter, the best that San Diego State has. He got a pretty good look.
This is Stevens' step-back jumper off the front of the rim, and Watson will bring it ahead. One-on-one with Caroline. He goes right at him, and a block by Jordan Caroline.
Well, Watson decides he's going to challenge Jordan Caroline, who is a tremendous athlete. Not this time.
Watson had 14 points in the first half for the Aztecs. McDaniels back out to Kell, and he'll set up the Aztecs offense, looking for their 8th consecutive victory and a spot in the Mountain West Championship game for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. And Kell with the jumper.
He looks like he's got his legs back, Andrew, which he didn't have for most of this year. That was a great job of rising up.
He's in double figures for the 3rd straight game. That's a great sign for San Diego State as they continue this March run. Pope on the baseline, poked away, and now he's tangled up with Cody Martin and a foul. This is the first time since November that Trey Kell has put 3 straight games together with double figures. The lead remains 30 as the 5th-seeded Aztecs try to move on to the Mountain West Championship game. Cody Martin's 3, no good, and a push is called on Kevin Watson. It'll stay with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that was a good call. It pushed him in the back.
I see they're working on the left foot of Kendall Stevens, which is what he grabbed when he went down underneath the basket a couple of minutes ago.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if I bring him back in at this stage.
Cook connects. That's a 2. This is a very weird spot for Eric Musselman. As we take another look at Stevens, you see the ankle, I mean, the thing about Eric Musselman, they're down big. They know they're going to the NCAA tournament already. This is a tough half for him to coach, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough half, no doubt. He just wants his guys to put a respectable effort in right now and save some face.
Foul is called on the floor. But you also have to keep in mind the bigger picture if you're Musselman. Knowing you already have 7 scholarship guys, now another of your key players, the starter, goes down. I mean, he has to think about, hey, we might have to play an NCAA tournament game in 6 days.
You give it a run to the 10-minute mark. If you can't get this thing down to 15, the 10-minute mark, maybe you look at it like it's over. It's not going to happen today. But they still have time.
Caroline steps into a 3. Mitchell the rebound. Malik Pope's way up ahead of the pack, but Mitchell will slowly bring it up.
One thing about Caroline, he takes a lot of threes, and that's the weakest part of his game. He's not a great three-point shooter. He can make them, but he's not a great three-point shooter.
He shoots 31% from deep. Tonight he's 1 out of 4 from beyond the arc. And a blocking foul called on Hall, and Eric Musselman again is pacing down the Nevada sideline. Second foul on Hall. Don't forget, we got the second Mountain West semifinal coming up on CBS Sports Network, 11:30 Eastern time tonight, as the 7 seed Utah State will take on number 3 New Mexico. Utah State pulled the big upset yesterday in the quarters, knocking out Boise State. 8 on the shot clock for the Aztecs.
Great
Pope.
high-low.
Yeah, that'll work. McDaniels to Pope. Kell with the steal. Watson splits the D. His shot is no good, and a foul on the putback, though, with 15:44 to go. Start of the second half looks a lot like the first half.
Well, what great execution here on the high-low to Malik Pope. They're doing it in a lot of different ways. Up 30, San Diego State.
Nevada fans only can barely watch as they trail by 30 with 15:44 to go. Let's see who's the best in the West, brought to you by Best Western. And very interesting, you look at the resumes for USC and UCLA, and it's the last one, the head-to-head wins, that stands out, and that's why Jerry Palm has USC first 4 out and UCLA as a 9 seed.
I'm not seeing UCLA as a 9 seed. I think more like a 10. Well, it depends on what happens with the rest of the Pac-12 tournament. They're winning. They're losing to Arizona right now by 3 points, but it's anybody's game, so we'll see where that ends up.
We know which side Reggie Miller stands on. There you see Reggie along with director Mike Arnold, Kevin Harland, and Dan Bonner. They'll be the crew for the championship game of the Mountain West tournament tomorrow at 6 Eastern time on CBS. I think Nevada could use a little bit of Reggie right now, about 23s or so.
Yeah, put it this way, a prerequisite to making a comeback here, defense and making a lot of threes, which they're capable of.
It's Watson at the free throw line. Meanwhile, Jalen McDaniels has 12 points and 10 rebounds. That's his 9th double-double of the season. What a freshman season it's been for McDaniels.
Didn't start at the beginning of the year, and here's that pressure.
Caroline scoop shot gets the bounce.
I keep working that high-low between Pope and McDaniels. They really have no answer size-wise, and there it is again.
Mitchell triple. This time he connects. Second 3 for Mitchell. He's got 13 points.
Say it again.
That's Tony Martin. The tip is no good by Hall. Still scramble for it, and Kell has it. And you can see San Diego State not pushing the ball. Trying to use some clock now here in the second half. Watson, another three. This one's off the mark. Tipped to Cody Martin. His brother Caleb throws it down. Caleb from Cody for the jam. How about this, Steve? Yesterday in San Diego State's game against Fresno State, they trailed for only 1 minute and 40 seconds. And tonight, they've trailed for only 42 seconds.
That's how well this team has been playing.
So this entire tournament, they have played with the lead, and in this case, a big one. 5 on the shot clock. It's Kell. The reverse lay-in is blocked by Caleb Martin, and last touched by the Aztecs.
Well, you want to take a look at how they got this shot. Take a look here. Jalen McDaniels right there catches the ball at the high post, and then he's seeing exactly right here because the ball's in the middle of the floor. He's able to get it out to the corner. They can't react fast enough. They knock out another 3.
8 threes tonight for San Diego State. Meanwhile, just 3 of 15 for the Wolfpack, a team that led the Mountain West this year at 40% from beyond the arc. Caleb Martin comes up short. And you're starting to wonder, Steve, not only losing this game, but the way they're losing it, what this will mean for Nevada in terms of seeding in the NCAA tournament.
And what it does to your confidence. I mean, let's face it, this team will have lost 2 of their last 3 games.
Hustle by Hemsley to knock it out. Right now, Jerry Palm has them as a 7 seed. Their RPI is number 12 in the country.
It's going to take a little bit of a hit in this game, though.
And I think the big thing, too, is, as you pointed out before, this is... Look, they've missed Lindsey Drew since he's been out, but this may be the most they've missed him since he ruptured that Achilles. Here's Drew on the sideline, out for the season. Let's go over to Evan.
And guys, just to follow on that, speaking with this staff, as many things are matchup based, they felt like coming into this game much like they did 6 days ago, missing Drew on the glass. Remember, the first meeting when they won against San Diego State, Drew had 11 rebounds, 9 on the defensive side. That's a big part of his game that against a team like this, they just don't have.
Yeah, he's a good-sized point guard. He did so many things for them. Also was a one of the better defenders in the league also. And you notice Kendall Stevens not coming back right now.
No. Trying to flex out that left ankle. Well, it does not look like he's coming in anytime soon. It's Watson at the line. As we take a closer look at this Nevada resume, you see the RPI, number 12 in the country. 2 quad 1 victories. Their best wins against Rhode Island and at Boise State. And as we told you, Jerry Palm has them as a 7 seed. But now, I think about the way they're losing this game, the injury to Lindsey Drew, who knows about Kendall Stevens. Things could really take a turn in a different direction for them. Obviously still safe for the tournament, but just in terms of seeding, what this loss will do will be fascinating to see on Sunday.
And one of the big keys about their resume is their non-conference strength of schedule is one of the best in the country. Theirs is 17, so they've scheduled really well this year, which put them in this situation where they don't have to win this tournament to get the bid. But you don't want to go out like this. That's the problem. You probably, if you're Eric Musselman, you probably got to look at this point. Remember I told you that when we had the Rhode Island game, I said I would make them watch every dribble. I think with this tape, I'll throw it out the window. Yeah. NCAA tournament's coming next Thursday and Friday. This one I'd look at completely differently. I take the tape, bring it into the locker room tomorrow, and put a match to it.
Start fresh with Selection Sunday.
You had a great year. Let's forget about it. This didn't happen. And go from there.
Now, Shackle 3 won't go.
Now, if this happened 2 weeks ago, I'd make him watch every bounce.
Caroline through the lane. He's had a tough night. And the putback by Hall, no good either. Kicked around, and we have a whistle. 11:52 to go, timeout on the floor. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. 66-33 in favor of San Diego State as we revisit our principal financial game plan, Steve.
Well, stop Caroline. They stopped everybody, so we can just pick out anybody we want. Own the glass. It has been absolutely owned. Push the tempo for Nevada. They have not been able to do anything when it comes to offense, and 3 out of 16 from the three-point line. When you look at all this together, you say, guess what? Boy, Nevada must be getting beat pretty good, but not by 33 points.
Here's a man that had a number of great game plans over as many years, the great Steve Fisher, sitting with former Aztec star Jamal Franklin. 386 wins at San Diego State before retiring after last season. He's still a fixture at home games and here in Vegas for the tournament.
He built this thing from scratch. One of the great building jobs, I've said this many times, in the modern era of basketball. Lute Olson, Jim Calhoun, Steve Fisher, all unbelievable building jobs. At schools that had no basketball tradition before.
Cody Martin with the three. Cody Martin has 7 points. His twin brother Caleb has 8. Here's Rooks. Oh, he banks it in. Cameron Rooks, the grad transfer from Cal, who's really been a part of this winning streak for San Diego State, making a lot of contributions. As Nevada has the answer on the other end with Hall.
I'll tell you, the other thing that helps Brian Dutcher in this game is he's played a lot of guys on his bench with this big lead. He's probably, so they'll be ready to play tomorrow much better than they would be normally if they really had to expend themselves for 40 minutes.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about how Nevada should approach the rest of this game, but Brian Dutcher has to also be thinking, I'm going to have another game, 3 o'clock local time tomorrow. It'll be my 3rd game in 3 days. I got to think about how I'm using a Malik Pope and a Jalen McDaniels.
And it's not time yet to go flat out, throw everybody in the game, but he's got to be hoping that Eric Musselman is going to throw that towel in at some point soon. That's what he's hoping for.
Alice Cook not ready to throw it in as he hits the long 3 for Nevada. Hensley around Cody Martin, back out Shackle, extra pass Montana. A rare air ball from Montana. Oh, what about the spin by Cody Martin? Brian Dutcher wants a timeout. 9:55 to go. And the Aztecs stop the clock as Nevada is on a 5-0 run. Cody Martin spinning and scoring for the Wolfpack. In Vegas, let's take a look at the dunk of the game, brought to you by Werner Ladder. How about Jalen McDaniels on the follow? Worthy of several looks, the dunk of the game presented by Werner Ladder. McDaniels with his 9th double-double of the year. 12 points, 10 rebounds for the redshirt freshman who was named 3rd team All-Mountain West earlier this week by the coaches. I think you look at McDaniels, now you see so many kids around the country, they want to, one and done, or they want to play right away as a freshman. Obviously, there were some circumstances as to why he did not play last year, but he had the redshirt year. He put on 15 pounds, put on some muscle, practiced with the team every day last year, and now he's having a big freshman season.
Yeah, and he can look forward to another 3 really good years in this program. Very good freshman class with him and Mitchell and Shackle.
Foul called on Hall. That's his 3rd. Each side with 5 team fouls here in the second half. Wolfpack joined the Mountain West for the 2012-2013 season, and since joining the Mountain West, they've lost 9 of 11 to San Diego State. This would be 10 of 12, rather. Montana doesn't go. Foul called on Watson. And Brian Dutcher is going to bring Pope, McDaniels, Kell, and Mitchell back in the game, not messing around.
No, I would do the same thing.
Let's go down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, to that point in the last huddle, Brian Dutcher said, guys, we're going to have to fight all the way through this, lending the idea that we're not putting our foot off the gas here. Obviously, they're going to manage this game, but he knows that this is going to be free throwing, flowing for the next 9 minutes. He's going to need a lot of his guys.
Pope up ahead, and Malik Pope with the jam.
I'd say Malik Pope has done a great job moving his feet on guys that are trying to drive on him.
Caleb Martin for 2. He's 5 of 13 tonight for 10 points. 0 of 6 from deep. And a foul on Jordan Caroline, who was frustrated, and a technical foul has now been called.
Yeah, that was a good technical foul, too. Another one. Hemsley. Brian Dutcher is mad, and I don't blame him. I don't know what Hemsley said, but they gave him one, too.
You're right. They just added one to Hemsley, and he's going to come out of the game. Here's the foul called on Caroline. He was all mad after. Got the technical there. You can see Hemsley sort of chatting in the back of your screen there, and now he's been called for a technical foul.
I mean, you got to know, you're up 27 points. Say anything.
It is a personal foul. We have a personal technical foul, number 24, Jordan Caroline. That is his third on the 17th. We have a personal technical foul, San Diego State.
Here's Hemsley at the top of the key.
His second and the 17th foul. San Diego State will shoot 2 for the
Yeah, he's doing something with his hands. His mouth was flapping a little bit too, and there's the tee.
Yeah, he said something to Hallis Cook, which is not very wise.
So technical fouls on Hemsley and Caroline. We've got 3 technical fouls in the game, along with Eric Musselman. McDaniels shooting the free throw, misses the first. San Diego State has 5 players in double figures, including McDaniels with 13. Mitchell has 13, Pope with 10, Watson 18, and Kell has 10. All 5 starters in double figures. And now Hallis Cook will shoot the technical free throws, assessed to Hemsley.
Now it's San Diego State ball, goes back to the point of interruption.
San Diego State will have possession.
Eight and a half to go in the second. San Diego State on the verge of locking up a spot in the Mountain West Tournament Championship game at 6 Eastern tomorrow on CBS. Four on the shot clock. Kell tried to squeeze one inside to Pope, but it's taken away by Caroline. Martin on the baseline, and a foul by McDaniels, and now with both teams in the bonus, it'll be a 1-and-1 for Nevada.
Caleb Martin can really handle the ball. I mean, he is a tremendous dribbler of the basketball.
Coming into the night, Martin in his last 5 games was shooting just 36% from the floor as he makes the front end. And tonight, he's 5 out of 13. So he's been struggling a little bit down the stretch. And you have to wonder with all the minutes that Nevada plays here late in the season. I mean, Martin averages 33, that's Caleb. His brother Cody averages 35, second most in the Mountain West. Caroline at 34. It's a team that's logged a lot of minutes. They got an extra game because they got an exemption this year for traveling to Hawaii and playing there. If you do that, you can play an extra game. So they've had an extra game. So it's a tired team. You know, maybe in some ways, getting an extra day before the NCAA tournament won't be the worst thing for them, although as you have chronicled before, this is not a performance you want to go in the NCAA tournament.
That's what you worry about mentally, where they go after this. And, you know, without Lindsey Drew, I know they've gotten used to playing without him, but...
Shot clock violation on San Diego State. Stops the clock with 7:33 to go. It's 73-49. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. We're back with our AT&T game summary. And Devin Watson leading the charge for the Aztecs. He's got 18 points, a team that is shooting 61%. As we welcome you back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. Let's take a sneak peek at the next game coming up here at the Thomas and Mack Center. The second semifinal, Utah State and New Mexico. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Well, Utah State won 2 games in a very short period of time. They're playing probably the worst style they could possibly play after being tired and playing for 2 days like that. Because this New Mexico team is going to run ragged the entire 40 minutes. That would be my biggest concern, is how they're going to handle playing their 3rd game in 3 days against a relentless pressing type team.
That one's scheduled for 11:30 Eastern Time on CBS Sports Network.
San Diego State trying to look at his zone again.
Nice feed, Jordan Caroline to Josh Hall.
You know, they've been giving a pretty good effort the last few minutes. And Eric Musselman, he's still coaching them.
Watson backcourt.
It's not time to get scared, but it's time to get a little concerned.
Turnover number 8 by San Diego State. Another look.
Well, you start, you know, when you start back dribbling, that was an easy call. You start back dribbling at the half-court line, you're in trouble. You got to bring the ball all the way to the front court.
Kendall Stevens has not returned for Nevada since suffering that ankle injury. He is their best 3-point shooter. But Musselman is holding him out. Kell is fouled. That's on Cook. Number 4 on Alice Cook. There is Stevens. School record this year with 3-pointers made. Tonight, 0 for 3 from deep, just 2 points for Stevens, the transfer from Purdue.
When everybody who goes to Purdue shoots threes like crazy, I mean, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country, and this guy left.
He came into the night needing only 6 3-pointers to tie the Mountain West season record. Jimmer Fredette in the 2010-11 season had 124 threes, and Stevens with 118.
Yeah, coming into the game, he had a shot. If they were to win this game, play in the finals, he makes over 3 a game as it is on an average. But not to be.
Caleb Martin comes up short. Hall is blocked by McDaniels.
Now they're even pressing on missed shots. You got to get out of this corner.
Kicked to us. It'll stay with the Aztecs. chance of let's go Aztecs from the San Diego State fans here as Pope plays in 2 more.
Well, Hollis Cook switched to Malik Pope. He has no chance to guard Malik Pope.
Cody Martin's 3 no good. Offensive rebound Hall, and he threw it away.
Well, you take a look here. They switch. They got Hollis Cook right here. They set the screen, and they switch it. And he rolls to the basket knowing he's got a 6'3" guy on him.
And now Eric Musselman has gone deep into his bench. And he's brought in Justin Brent, who was a wide receiver on the football team at Nevada.
Brian Dutcher wants to see one more guy come in. Before he goes the walk-on route. I don't know, I'll be honest with you, walk-ons, they couldn't play this long.
You never give the walk-ons any credit.
They'd be dying.
You never give them any credit. What do you mean? They're the scout team. They're running everything in practice.
One time we had a referee in a game, a ball comes to our bench, a loose ball, and one of the walk-ons grabs the ball, and the referee said, hey, how's that feel?
That's terrible.
That's what the referee said to him. Say, hey, how's that feel? How about that?
Mitchell misses, that's nothing excites, I think, the fans more than when the walk-ons get in the game. They make a shot, it's louder than when they're going on a 10-0 run.
I love walk-ons were a big part of our team. I mean, I loved our walk-ons, but in practice every day, they never play. I'm just saying, 5 minutes and 38 seconds for a walk-on, I'm telling you, you'd be gassed. He'd need a sub. One thing you don't want to do is sub for the walk-on.
Brent goes back out as Cook re-enters.
Hey, when I was an assistant at Villanova, we played Illinois to go to the Sweet 16. We ran out of guys. We put a walk-on in with 30 seconds to go. This kid, Pat Aaron, made a 3 from the corner to put us up with 30 seconds to go in the game.
Nice tip in.
Now you may ask, how'd that guy have the nerve to shoot that? I don't know, I gotta be honest with you.
It's a good question. 5:20 to go. And that tip in by Caroline gives him 12 points, but on 14 shots. Caroline for 3. Yes. Second 3 of the night for Caroline. And the lead is 22. And foul. That's the 5th foul on Hollis Cook, so he's fouled out. And Stevens is not able to come back in. So they're down to 5 on the Wolfpack bench. 5 scholarship players. So Brent re-enters. 10 points tonight for Hollis Cook, his 3rd different college. Started at Oregon State, moved on to Iowa State, and now his senior year at Nevada.
Watson, he kind of started this whole thing off tonight.
And Watson with 20 points, 4 of 6 from deep. 12th time this season the Aztecs have scored at least 80 in a game.
They didn't do that a whole lot against Steve when Steve Fisher was there, but Steve could play some D, let me tell you.
Yeah. Watson's shot is off the mark. McDaniels the put in. 15 for Jalen McDaniels. That's a 3 by Caroline. Mitchell gets it across.
I like the way he stepped through that double team. Matt Mitchell's going to be a very good player. He knows how to play the game. Well, as soon as I said it,
He gets it back. Numbers for the Aztecs. McDaniels with throwdown. Caleb Martin for three. And Kell grabs it before it goes out. 3:30 to go.
If I'm Musselman, I'm taking guys out now. You don't want somebody to sprain an ankle. You'd kill yourself if somebody got hurt in 3 minutes to go in this. I think you're better off taking your guys out.
Kell with the shot clock winding down. That's going to be a shot clock violation. And it takes us to our final media timeout of this game with 3:01 to go. 84-59, Aztecs rolling in Vegas.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness. And by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Go get rewarded now at bestwestern.com.
Coming up next, we turn things over to our studio as CBS Sports Network gives you the inside scoop on Inside College Basketball Bracket Week presented by Kubota on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. This will be the 8th straight win for San Diego State. Only 7 teams in the country currently have a longer win streak than the Aztecs. It's the longest for San Diego State since early 2016. Quite a run right now for San Diego State with 3 minutes to go.
A lot of regulars still in the game.
And a foul is called on the Aztecs. That'll send Nevada to the line.
In San Diego State, the only guy really that doesn't play that's in the game is Nolan Narain.
So this result will have teams on the bubble weeping, as now the Mountain West Conference will get 2 teams into the NCAA tournament. Nevada is going despite this loss. And now whoever wins the championship game tomorrow, whether it's San Diego State, Utah State, or New Mexico, 2 teams in the big dance.
Louisville not feeling real good right now. USC not feeling real good. I hate to say your alma mater might not be feeling very good.
They haven't felt good for a few weeks. That would be Syracuse. Tell you what, though, San Diego State, if they win the championship tomorrow, they'll go into the NCAA tournament on a 9-game win streak. If New Mexico gets the bid, they'll go in on an 8-game win streak. Those are 2 teams that will be rolling right into the big dance. And if somehow Utah State pulls it out, they'll have won 4 in 4 days.
Yeah, it's whoever wins this thing right now is going to have come out of nowhere, really. This San Diego State team, like we said, was floundering really in January and February for the most part. I saw them play a great game against Gonzaga in December at home. But they have not been able to put together offense and defense. They didn't guard this year the way they normally do. But they have really found their stride and become a very good two-way team.
Malik Pope's had a big day, 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting.
Well, he's one of the guys that really has played very well in these last 7 or 8 games. I mean, he's a senior. He's been through a lot. He's been injured. And to come back the way he has in these last 7 or 8 games, good for him.
Montana gets it into Shackle. And Hemsley turns it over. Caleb Martin leans into a 3. And Shackle in the corner has it with 2:15 to go.
These guys are still coming after
Eric Musselman's telling him get right after him. Down by 24. Musselman earlier in the week named the Mountain West Coach of the Year. What a run it's been in his first season. 24 wins for Nevada. They won the CBI title. Last year, they won the Mountain West regular season and the Mountain West tournament. Made their first NCAA appearance at Nevada since 2007, and they're going to go back this year with a 27-7 record, including this loss. Caroline tips it in.
Terrible.
And Caroline with 2 more.
The one thing you don't want to have to do if you're Brian Dutcher is sub or call timeout now and have to bring his guys back in. Sure enough, Devin Watson.
I'm really bummed because you always make fun of me because I always have little notes on the walk-ons, and I have all these notes I want to get in the game that I prepared for tonight, and I'm not getting a chance.
I don't make fun. You're a pro.
No, you do make fun of me.
I'm just amazed at how good you are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm amazed at.
You know, sitting over on that Nevada bench is the son of associate head coach Johnny Jones, John Jones. Of course, Johnny Jones, former LSU head coach. Caroline fouled on 3.
Why would you foul him?
I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah. Got him on the foul team.
So 3 shots for Jordan Caroline. Caroline now has 22 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Interesting note, it's his 27th double-double with Nevada. And they are 25-2 when he has a double-double. This is one of the losses. They don't lose many when he has a double-double, but tonight is the night it didn't happen.
He's one of those guys that's always in full attack mode.
This is a concern for Nevada fans. Hopefully, Musselman was just taking precaution by not putting Kendall Stevens back into the game, but they're still looking at his left ankle. Watson up ahead to Montana, and it's corralled by Narain. And a foul with 1:11 to go.
I can't believe the foul. Down 17, 1:11 to go. It's not what I would do.
Hemsley, the junior from Rancho Cucamonga, California. One more free throw. Most points the Aztecs have scored in a game this year was 97 against Colorado State in late January, so it doesn't appear that they're going to get there. Montana nearly turns it over. Shacko is fouled with 58 seconds to go. They keep fouling, maybe they will get to 97.
They might.
And now we have a walk-on coming in for San Diego State. It's Michael Sohikish, the San Diego native. Former student manager is now into the ball game for Brian Dutcher. He's actually played in 10 games this season, and he has 3 field goals.
That's a pretty good number for a walk-on, 3 field goals.
Caroline has exited with 25 points and 10 rebounds, 5 on the offensive glass for Jordan Caroline.
I don't know why Cody Martin let that roll.
Sohikis.
Huh.
All right.
Showing a little handle.
Poked out. It'll stay with the Aztecs with 43 seconds to go.
A lot of times these walk-ons could be Division II or Division III players. I mean, they're players. They're just at their level, really, for the most part. But they're basketball players.
Montana is fouled with 34 seconds to go. And now Eric Musselman is looking down his bench. David Cunningham, Justin Brent, John Jones, son of Johnny Jones, is going to come in. And so will Elijah Cooks, who's a wide receiver on the football team.
I mean, these kids had a great year. Today was a blip on the screen. There's no doubt about it. It's just a shame they won't be full strength. Hopefully Kendall Stevens will be fine.
Yeah, that's a big one for Nevada over these next few days.
There's nothing they could do about the Lindsey Drew situation now. What's done is done, but...
Ooh, and that is Charlie Tooley who is fouled on the drive. Granite Bay, California native.
Refs are blowing the whistle still.
Tooley with 2 field goals this year and now 2 free throws made.
Nice stroke he had there, too. That's a good play by Hemsley, at least throw it in the backboard.
And a lane is good for David Cunningham. That's his first field goal of the season.
Here's what I don't understand. If you're Eric Musselman, my goal now would be to get out of here as quickly as I can. Let this day end. And with just you're prolonging the agony now with all these fouls. I'd be like, stop fouling. I want to get out of here. We've all been there.
San Diego State led by as many as 34 in this game. And now they've hit 90 points on the scoreboard for the 5th time this year.
A nice stroke.
Yeah, Tooley couldn't get that one to go. And it appears that Nevada will not foul. With 10 seconds to go. A steal by Brent. And that's not going to count. That was an interesting final 3 minutes that we just witnessed. But in the end, San Diego State is in the Mountain West Championship game for the 4th time in the last 5 years. They win it 90-73, and the Aztecs are a win away from the NCAA tournament. San Diego State, the number 5 seed, onto the championship game. When the Aztecs won the title in 2002, they were the 5 seed. They'll play tomorrow at 6 Eastern on CBS against the winner of our next game on CBS Sports Network between Utah State and New Mexico.
Well, they really put a hurting on these guys right from the jump ball. This is one of those rare games that's over on the jump ball. This one was over at the jump ball.
5 Aztecs in double figures, led by Devin Watson with 20 points. Jalen McDaniels had a double-double, 17 points, 12 boards. And let's go over to Evan.
Here with Devin Watson, and 20 points over the course of the game, but the 14 in the first half really ignited what you guys did offensively. What was it early in this game that allowed you guys to have so much success?
We were just the aggressors. We wanted to come out and be the aggressors, and it worked out well for us.
The confidence seems to be oozing out of this team, and it started a few weeks ago. What is it about the group right now that has you guys playing so well?
We're all clicking, you know, we're all together, and we just want everybody to be successful, and that's why we're winning, and we're doing it as a team.
Devin, one game away from an NCAA tournament berth. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Andrew?
Aztecs have not been to the NCAA tournament since 2015. All they need is one more victory. For Steve Lapis, Evan Washburn, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After a quick break, we'll take you back to New York for Inside College Basketball Bracket Week presented by Kubota. And we'll see you back in Vegas shortly with Utah State and New Mexico.